Yeah, Romans go boom. You know, I love history so much that I've created another channel. When you think of the most powerful empires in history, your mind might conjure images of Genghis Khan's ruthless Mongol hordes or Queen Elizabeth's vast colonial domain. But if you're anything like me, the first empire that pops into your head is Rome, the beating heart of Europe, the cradle of Western civilization, and home to some of the most famous buildings, monuments, and laws in human history. I mean, where else can you visit the Colosseum, Pantheon, and the Trevi Fountain all in one day? Plus, the Italian food is insane. But how did this glorious empire come to be? Well, buckle up, because I'm about to take you on an exciting journey back in time to explore the stunning origins of the Roman Empire. From humble beginnings as a small village to becoming the dominant force in the Mediterranean, we'll see what it took to build this mighty realm and how their innovative ideas changed the world forever. I'm your host, and this is the incredible origin story of Rome. We are so grateful to have you here. So let's begin. So let's start at the very beginning. According to legend, Rome was founded on April 21, 753 BCE by Romulus, who killed his twin brother Remus after the two of them founded the city together. Now there's some debate about whether this actually happened, but it makes for a pretty good story. After killing Remus, Romulus went on to become the first king of Rome. He established the city's social and political institutions, which became the foundation of Roman society. Now, I don't want to give too much away, but under Romulus's leadership, Rome expanded beyond the Palatine Hill, where it was originally founded, to conquer the 7 hills of Rome. These included the Capitoline Hill, where the Roman Senate would later meet and make decisions about the future of the empire. Fast forward through the next few centuries, and Rome continued to grow and expand. They fought wars with neighboring Italian peoples, defeated the Etruscans, and conquered the Mediterranean coast of Italy. Then came the legendary founding of the Roman Republic in 509 BCE, when the Romans overthrew their last king and established a new system of government with elected officials who represented the people. Under the Republic, Rome entered a golden age of peace and prosperity and became a major center of trade and culture in the Mediterranean. Okay, quick interruption to say thank you for joining us. If you're enjoying the video so far, please hit the like button and subscribe for more epic stories from history. Now let's get back to exploring the fascinating history of Rome. One of the most important innovations of the Roman Republic was its military system. The Roman army was one of the most powerful and disciplined fighting forces in the ancient world, and played a key role in expanding Rome's territory and influence. The Roman Republic would go on to defeat the Carthaginians in the Punic Wars and gain control of the Western Mediterranean. They also clashed with the Hellenistic kingdoms in the east and fought several wars against the Macedonian and Seleucid empires. The Roman Republic was also a time of great cultural achievement. Roman art and literature were heavily influenced by Greek culture, but they developed their own unique style that celebrated the ideals of civic duty, courage, and patriotism. Roman architecture was renowned for its grandeur and innovation, from the Colosseum, the Pantheon and aqueducts to roads, bridges, and public buildings. They even invented concrete, which allowed them to build larger and more elaborate structures than any of their contemporaries. However, despite all these accomplishments, the Roman Republic was not without its problems. The gap between the rich and poor grew wider, and the competition for power and wealth among the elite classes led to civil unrest and instability. The assassination of Julius Caesar in 44 BCE marked a turning point in Roman history and set the stage for the rise of the Roman Empire. After Caesar's death, his adopted son Octavian emerged victorious from a series of civil wars and became the first emperor of Rome, taking the title Augustus. Under his rule, Rome entered a period known as the Pax Romana, or Roman peace, which lasted for over 2 centuries. During this time, the empire reached its greatest territorial extent and enjoyed relative stability and prosperity. The Pax Romana was also a golden age for literature, art, and science. Roman writers, such as Virgil, Horace, and Ovid, produced works that are still read and admired today. Roman law reached its most sophisticated form and became the foundation of legal systems in many Western countries. Roman engineering and technology advanced significantly with the construction of roads, aqueducts, public baths, and other public works. However, the peace and prosperity of the Pax Romana were not evenly distributed, and the empire's vast size made it difficult to govern effectively. The later emperors faced numerous challenges, including economic decline, political instability, military threats, and social unrest. Despite these challenges, the Roman Empire continued to thrive for several centuries. The eastern half of the empire, centered in Constantinople, now Istanbul, survived for another 1,000 years after the fall of the western half in 476 AD. Hey Romans, if you're enjoying this journey through history, show your support by clicking the like button and subscribing for more updates. Don't miss out on any of our upcoming episodes. With Rome's expansion came the need to manage a vast territory and diverse population. So the Romans developed an efficient system of administration that helped to keep the empire stable and secure. They established a network of provinces and appointed governors to oversee them. They also created a professional civil service to collect taxes, maintain public order, and enforce laws. Roman law was a significant contribution to the development of Western civilization. The Romans codified their laws and created a system of courts to administer justice. Roman law was based on the concept of natural law and emphasized the importance of reason, justice, and fairness. It also established principles that are still relevant today, such as the presumption of innocence and the right to due process. But let's talk about the real star of the show, the Roman Colosseum. This iconic amphitheater was the largest of its kind in the ancient world and could hold up to 80,000 spectators. The Colosseum hosted gladiatorial contests, animal hunts, executions, and even mock naval battles. It was a symbol of Rome's power and prestige and a testament to Roman engineering and architecture. And let's not forget about Roman engineering and architecture. The Romans were pioneers in the field of engineering, and their innovations had a lasting impact on the world. They built roads, aqueducts, bridges, and public buildings that were marvels of efficiency and durability. Roman concrete and arches were particularly innovative and allowed the Romans to construct structures that were larger and more complex than those of their contemporaries. One of the most important aspects of Roman engineering was their road building. The Romans built a network of roads that connected the far reaches of their empire and facilitated the movement of troops, goods, and ideas. Roman roads were paved and designed to withstand the weight of heavy traffic and were a key factor in the empire's success. The Romans also made significant contributions to art and literature. Roman sculpture and painting were highly influential and often depicted scenes from mythology, history, or daily life. Roman literature produced some of the greatest epics, comedies, and tragedies in history. Writers such as Virgil, Horace, and Ovid are still read and studied today. Hey, hope you're having a blast traveling through time with us. If so, hit that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more historical adventures. Despite its many accomplishments, the Roman Empire was not immune to internal strife and external threats. Towards the end of the empire, Rome faced a series of crises that contributed to its decline. These included economic decline, political instability, military threats, and social unrest. In the 3rd century AD, the empire was plagued by a series of civil wars and economic crises. The cost of defending the empire was vast borders, and the decline of trade disrupted the Roman economy and led to inflation and widespread poverty. This instability created a climate of uncertainty and made it difficult for Rome to respond effectively to external threats. The Roman Empire was also under constant pressure from outside invaders. Germanic and other barbarian tribes pushed into Roman territory and sacked cities and provinces. These attacks weakened the empire and drained its resources. Although the Roman army was able to repel many of these invasions, the constant threat of war took a toll on the empire's stability. The division of the empire into eastern and western halves created two separate centers of power and may have contributed to the decline of the western half. The eastern half of the empire, centered in Constantinople, was wealthier and more prosperous and was able to survive for another 1,000 years. However, the western half faced greater challenges, including the pressure from outside invaders and internal instability. So there you have it, the incredible story of Rome, from its humble beginnings to its rise as a powerful empire and eventual decline. What do you find most fascinating about the Roman Empire? Let us know in the comments below. And hey, if you're loving our journey through history, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe, and ring the bell for more updates. Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Greatest Empires. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.